Whether you're new to the Sound Shore or have called it home for years, Sound Shore Family Guide is here for you. We bring you insider tips on schools, sports, local happenings, and parenting in our amazing community. Let's navigate family life in Larchmont and Mamaroneck together.
Hi, thank you so much for tuning in at the LMC Media Studio for the Sound Shore Family Guide. I hope you enjoy the show. In the meantime, I'm here with Mr. Dan Marks. Dan, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thanks for being here. Dan, will you tell us a little bit about where you moved from?
Yeah, we moved here about 1.5 years ago. We were living in Park Slope in Brooklyn for since before our daughter was born, so maybe about 9 or 10 years or so, and then we moved here.
You have a couple kids.
Yes.
Yes.
11 and 8, or almost 11 and 8.
And we'll get back to them in a second. But what do you do for a living?
I'm a software developer.
Okay. And getting back to your children, so only 1.5 years ago, what have they explored, and did you talk to people to figure these places out, or did you just, I don't know, how did you find them out?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff has been just meeting other families and oh, you should check out Manor Beach. You should check out this cool program over here. So a lot of it is just meeting other families who were sharing ideas. A lot of it is just looking around. The sign actually does a really good. Town does a really good job of posting little signs. It says, "Hey, there's a program at the Marine Education Center this summer. There's a program at this place. There's a concert at this park. There's movies at this park." So it's town and villages do a really good job of
we put them out there for a reason. We want people to look at them,
and it's successful.
Good. You do.
Yeah,
wonderful.
It is.
Good to know.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
what would you say were some of the things that they actually partook in?
You activity-wise?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
After school.
My son is really into soccer. He is already asked when he gets paid because he really thinks he's and wants to be a professional soccer player. So we do a lot of that.
We coach first. He can be paid to
we
coach.
do. So he does LMFC, which Larchmont Mamaroneck Football Club, which is also kind of foster soccer. They're kind of interchange. Does that 3 days a week. It just wrapped up. My daughter is less of an athlete, and she isn't really super into team sports. She does rock climbing over near Rochelle is a big indoor rock climbing gym. She's gotten really into that. Both of them do piano. They just had a recital the other day.
And so she does piano. They both do.
Yeah.
Okay. And so they've only been here for 1.5 years. That's a lot to ask to see what else you've done. And what do you do on the weekends and for activities as a family?
Yeah, we love, especially I love being outdoors a lot. Like I said, I'm a software developer. I spend a lot of my life staring at a screen, and I really like when I don't have to do that to do something else. One of the reasons we actually wanted to leave the city was it was getting to the point that if I wanted to go take my kids for an hour hike, it would take us maybe 45 minutes in the morning to drive to the nearest place, go hike for an hour and a half, and then it could take us an hour and a half to drive back, and it'd take us 35 minutes to park. And it was kind of, as they were getting older and they were able to do more of this stuff, it was becoming difficult to get outside. Now, Brooklyn has really beautiful places. Prospect Park is beautiful. It's beautiful parks right on the shore over there. But some of that kind of low-key, easy stuff was really hard to do. And actually, one of the things I love most about living up here is how easy it is to just get outside. There's sets of trails that run right by my house that you could just go into, go walk the dog.
Leather Stocking Trail. We have the Sheldrake.
Go to Sheldrake all the time with my dog. Some beautiful reservoir. You can get actually really lost in the back over there with the dog or the kids. It's really, really nice over there. Leather Stocking Trail. We go to Alata with walking the dog.
Your kids are a little bit older, but Sheldrake does have wonderful programming, especially for younger children. But to your point, it's a park that everybody has access to, and it's just right here.
Yeah. And it's really, once you get more than 200 feet off from the parking lot, it's actually pretty empty. You could feel really isolated there.
Absolutely.
It's really cool.
Yeah, I do some meditation nature walks and stuff like that there as well. And
cool.
Yeah, they're wonderful.
Some other stuff. So we just like being outdoors, like riding our bikes. We've gotten into kayaking since we've been up here. Really one of the things I started with just me, and then my wife really wanted to get into it, and then we wanted to get the kids into it. So we've really kind of come very, very much into kayaking here. We go over here in Mamaroneck has this really nice harbor. In the center of the harbor is something called Harbor Island Park. We keep our kayaks there on the racks there, and you could just go and explore. There's a couple of little creeks you can go down to, and you really can get into places where you feel like you are very far off the beaten path, even though you're a 20-minute paddle from your car here in Mamaroneck with all that it offers and all that kind of stuff. So that's been
Well,
really
that's
cool.
the convenience of living right here on the Long Island Sound. It's like you just have that access to the water. And,
Yeah, yeah.
Not everywhere can you get that.
Right.
Yeah.
Manor Beach is a big one for us.
Mm-hmm.
It's just to that same point. Like, I think when we moved here, I knew where it was on a map, but I didn't realize that it would feel. I'm probably exaggerating a little bit beachy.
Yeah.
It feels like you are in a waterfront town. If
yeah.
if you're going kayaking, if you're walking your dog on Dog Beach, if you are, swimming at Manor Beach and stuff like that, it really feels like a little bit of a seaside town. And that was a really nice surprise that we didn't. We didn't even after moving in here, didn't even realize until because we moved in December until summer rolled around that it was like that.
When you because you keep your boat at the or the kayaks at Harbor Island, do you ever go into the Marine Center and enjoy that?
Yeah, so it's cool. My daughter actually at some point, it changes every couple of weeks, wanted to be a shark scientist. So when we walked by there once, it was like, oh, let's go in there. And then just a couple weeks ago, because there was I think if there was a day off or there was a half day off, I forgot at the schools, and they did like a little camp there, and they had a really cool time. Like my son was really into it. There's fish in tanks that they were feeding, and they all that kind of stuff. And so I think they had a great time. It's really cool. I've poked my head in a couple times. I haven't spent so much time in there, but they really enjoyed it.
But that's the beauty of that place as well. It's like it doesn't have to be a program that you're going into. You can just pop in and pop out, and it's free and. You have a scientist there. I mean, she's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was really
that's
cool.
really neat. And they really kind of bring in from like what's current in the ocean to the local community, so you can kind of see what's out there and see.
Yeah. And to your point, living on the waterfront, it's weird because sometimes like people don't realize that, and they don't even realize what's living in there. If you're not a fisherman, you don't know that there's fish. That big fish, like they're right there, right by your toes.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's so true. All right, so Dan, thank you. Stick around because Dan will come back and he will talk about a local tip that you will only hear or see here. Hi, Kyle Troy. Welcome to the Sound Shore Family Guide at LMC Media. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
So nice to have you. I just want to really mention that to everybody listening that we have an amazing marine center right here in Mamaroneck at the Harbor Island. And Kyle is the one who has taken it from something that was once really small into what it is today. And Kyle, please tell us a little bit about what you have going on.
So the Marine Center is a very special, unique place, especially to Mamaroneck and this area. It's, I think, one of the only marine centers on the water close by, besides like your Norwalk Aquarium. Mm-hmm. It's a small building with a lot going on. All the artifacts inside, all the fish are right from our backyard, right from the water here, the
Amazing.
Long Island Sound.
Like what kind of fish do you have?
So in the tanks right now, we have black sea bass, American eels, flukes, toadfish, porgies, and everything changes. So sometimes we'll get a puffer fish, switch that out, get sea robins, all types of stuff. We have croakers, sculpin. In the summer, I'll be starting to get sea stars and urchins for the touch tank. So there is a touch tank that's open.
Neat.
Yeah, so the kids can come down. Again, it's small, but it gives the community a way to see what's in their backyard, be hands-on with it. Even just walking in, it's open to the public. You could walk in, check out all the fish, touch all the different stuff that comes from the beach. You have shells, you have different skeletons. You just get a more hands-on experience, and you get to learn about your local environment. We also do hands-on programs. We have daily programs. Those are like 30-minute little like snippets of what we do that the kids can kind of get their first time experience doing seining, which is a type of fishing, or crabbing. We do plankton netting, seaweed scavenger hunts, so you get to check out all the different seaweeds. Even just shelling, a lot of people, all ages, don't know a shell is an animal. So I really like to talk about that, talk about horseshoe crabs. We do birthday parties, which are always fun. Camps are at the center. I go to camps. And then we have after-school programs, pop-up camps. So everything's on the website, but lots going on. And then for the older kids, I also in restoring the oyster beds out in the water. We do have 2 oyster reefs in Mamaroneck, so me and the older students, we survey the oyster beds, also doing invasive species studies, intertidal studies, population studies for the older kids. So it's really, a lot of people think it's just younger kids, but it's really all ages, and it's very family friendly.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, so going back to like the birthday parties and special events, so if you had that, what age groups are usually there, and like what kind of activities do you do for birthday parties?
That's a great question. So the programs are pretty much all ages, because we'll do stuff, those are the daily programs. We'll do things even like read a book, do a craft, and that's for all ages, whatever age likes to have a book read to them and do a craft. And then birthday parties are 6 and up. My camps are 8 and up. And then my after school is 7 and up. Every year I kind of change it up because every year I'm learning something new. So it's also so exciting for me. So, but we do have something for all age ranges. For the older people like my age and older, I do paddleboard cleanups, bird walks, all types of stuff. I love birds, so.
That is so interesting. And like you said, you have all this information on your website?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so people can reach out to you because, I mean, you're there pretty much almost every day. Starting in the summertime, you'll be there every day.
Yep, the summer we're there Monday through Sunday. Right now it's Monday through Friday, 9 until 4. The birthdays can be any time of the day. Usually people have them sometimes at 5. We try to accommodate whatever we can, but the open to the public is 9 to 4 right now, Monday through Friday, and then the summer, Monday through Sunday.
And if people want to get in touch with you and find the Marine Center, what's the website?
It's marineeducationcenter.org.
Okay.
Easy, yeah.
Well, it's so much is going on there. It sounds like such a little gem of a place.
It is, yeah.
And congratulations on building it up to what it is today.
Thank you, yeah. And I hope, again, it's small, but it's super cool. Everything is outside. You really get a taste for your environment, and it's all ages. Families come in, check out the fish. You might be there for 5 minutes, you might be there for 45, but on your walk to the park, you can just pop in and
so if
check
you're
it out.
like a family that likes science and like for STEM, and it's very welcoming.
Yeah, I mean, even some kids are scared of the eel, but it's also cool to get them, like every year they come in, and that how much they love it more and more. And they get to see, it's not just like the same fish all the time. And it's not fish that you'd see in the tropics. It's a fish in your own backyard.
I love it. Local fish.
Yeah, it's local fish. And again, they change. So you get, even just fishing, fishing is a new one I'm doing, just general fishing. But the seining, which is using a big net, is really cool, again, for all ages, because it's also a sensory for your young kids, but also for the older kids, we're doing population studies with it. And you just see those fish that are right at your feet when you're swimming, which could be a little scary. They don't come up to you, but it's like little mummy chugs and killifish that people don't know that are right there. And they get to see them, look at them, and touch them, and learn all about them. So,
I love it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So thank you so much,
Thank
Kyle.
you.
This is so neat.
Yeah.
Hi, Jocelyn and Jennifer. Thank you so much for being here at the LMC Media Studio Center for the Sound Shore Family Guide. So nice to have you here.
Thank you for having us.
And you're here coming from the Sheldrake Nature Center, which is a gem that we have here. We're so lucky that you are here. So tell us a little bit about it.
So we are located in Larchmont, right off of Weaver Street, and our site is about 60 acres. That includes a pond and trails that surround it. It actually used to be the reservoir for Larchmont, which it is not anymore, but its purpose now is for spending time in nature, allowing education to take place, and really just being a beautiful spot in the community. And Sheldrake has been in existence for about 20 years, and has taken on a role of providing educational programming and fun programming in nature, using our great location and all the resources that we have because of it.
Yeah, we have a staff of about 20 dedicated naturalists who are really interested in providing educational opportunities to local children and families in nature. Towards that end, we do field trips for the local school districts. We offer after-school programs for both toddlers and elementary school-age children. We offer weekend programs for families so that you can come out with your children and experience nature together in a guided way. We also offer adult programming in the mindfulness and wellness space, as well as nature walks. So there's really something for everyone when you come to Sheldrake.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sort of stealth because while we're having so much fun and providing this education, what we're trying to do is get people connected to nature and feel that they are stewards of the earth. So there is an ultimate goal of bettering our environment and feeling connected to it.
Mm-hmm. Do you have to take a guided tour, or can you just go with your family and just enjoy Sheldrake on its own?
We are open dusk to dawn, and there are a few nice, easy rules. If you have a dog, it needs to be on a leash. But there are signs about that, and most of it is intuitive, but it's a really great opportunity. You don't need anyone to guide you if you feel comfortable, and our paths are very well marked.
Mm-hmm. Is Sheldrake connected to the Leatherstocking Trail?
So the
well,
sort of. It's a little tricky. There are a couple ways to access it that are officially the Leatherstocking Trail. One way you need to walk a couple blocks on the street. The other way is kind of up past the Sheldrake Lake.
Mm-hmm.
So yes,
mm-hmm.
but give yourself a little time.
Mm-hmm. I was just wondering.
It's part of a larger trail that goes through the Larchmont, New Rochelle, and Mamaroneck area. Mm-hmm. And we do have a bunch of teaching areas that we use for our family and student-based trips. We use the Sheldrake River Trails, which are off Rockland Avenue, which many people may be familiar with and are also a really great place to walk, as well as our reservoir site at 685 Weaver Street. We also do beach-based trips by Manor Park at Dog Beach, and those are often really, really great experiences for the participants.
Mm-hmm. And these are, as you mentioned, school trips, so the schools obviously have a relationship with you, and then also you offer after school and during vacation days and things like that.
Yeah, so on the days that school is not in session, either for spring break or winter break, or sometimes they have these superintendent days off, we offer camps for kids to come and experience nature. We also have a very popular offering in our June mini camp. We offer camp throughout the month of June for young children, and it is always sold out and very well subscribed. And it's a great opportunity for children to experience and really take on the joy of nature at a young age.
Well, yes, I was going to say, I mean, it's like children are roughly like what ages do you kind of target? And is it a rain or shine thing? I mean, you kind of like let them get dirty, or is it very pristine? And is it like, don't touch this?
We barely stay inside.
Oh, that's
so
great.
if you're not into getting dirty, we'll work with you. I mean, there are kids who sometimes really do need to warm up, and we're happy to do that. You don't need to love nature before you come, but you are going to get dirty. I wanted to say one thing about the schools. We have been so lucky. The Larchmont Mamaroneck School District has been very supportive. They understand that experiential learning and having an opportunity to really have a sensory experience works for all types of students, especially students who might not succeed in a traditional classroom. Mm-hmm. And we do get to, besides the obvious give it back for our seniors in high school. The high school seniors get to choose an internship for the last 6 weeks of their senior year, and we're always happy to host a Mamaroneck High School student. And for them, it's kind of coming full circle because most of them remember these trips as really fun experiences, and they get to assist now. with those trips.
That's right.
It's fun for us because I think some of the camp programs or the field trips that we do, the kids go home and they talk to their parents about what they experienced, and then their parents want to come out and have a family experience at the nature center. Because what's better than being outside and you get to see wildlife and experience the trails, you get exercise, and we all need sunshine.
Definitely. What kind of animals do you have there? Like if you would...
So they're animals, they live there as much as, they're not ours. This
Right.
is where they live.
It's nature.
So some of us particularly love our groundhogs. We have a whole slew of them with this great underground network. Right now, if you were to come and visit, our turtles have really woken up and they're basking in the sun. We have our frogs. We have all sorts of waterfowl. This is not the most beautiful word, but that is the word. We have a meadow area that we specifically have because it helps us attract and keep smaller animals, birds, by giving them food and place for homes, a nice habitat. So we do try to make our site as inviting as possible for them. We obviously, not in the daylight, but there are, coyotes or foxes that do run by, but they're also in your backyard. So
Yeah, they come in through our backyard too.
Yeah, they do. They lurk around. There are deer around. We have bald eagles that fly
Yes.
overhead, osprey. There's a lot of really wonderful birds there.
our owl.
Great herons. So, it's a really great place for birders and people who like to see bird life. We have a bird blind, and we have a lot of enthusiasts who take wonderful photos. We actually had a winter photo contest that's just concluding, and we had a number of people participate in some really great pictures of birds at the site.
Great. So if people want to get in touch with Sheldrake and find out more about your programming and the nature trail itself, how do they do that?
They should definitely come look at our website. And I also wanted to just put a plug in that we do have some volunteer opportunities for mostly not kids, older children and adults. Some areas we have a garden, and all the produce that we grow is donated to the food pantry. And it's something that was restarted during COVID, and it's been a wonderful thing, spearheaded and run by volunteers. We have that meadow I mentioned that we are working on having it filled with native species, and that requires a lot of work. So we have that. And then, of course, also, if this whole thing sounds amazing to you and you say, I want to be an educator, that's where I come in. I'm the director of education, and I run a class that happens on a yearly basis to train new educators. And they come from all sorts of directions. A lot of artists, because they notice nature. I find that really interesting. So those are all ways that you can get connected to Sheldrake. But the easiest thing is go to our website. Everything is there, all the upcoming programming and connections.
And what is the website?
It's www.sheldrakecenter.org.
Okay, great. So thank you, ladies. Thank you so much for being here.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for watching and listening here at the LMC Media Studio on the Ave, the Sound Shore Family Guide. We're back with Dan Marks, and he is going to give us a little tip that you can only hear here. So, Dan, if you are talking to people that are just moving here, or even people that are locally that just might not know about something wonderful that you can't find on the internet, what would it be?
Yeah, I think, like I said, for my family, I think the biggest surprise has been the kayaking and being able to do that. We keep our kayaks. You can rent a rack space from the village of Mamaroneck, so it's right there. You can go out. There's a couple of different creeks that you can really just paddle all the way right, down to the end of them. You have to time it with the tides. You can go further out. You can go walk. You can go paddle all along the shore to Rye.
Mamaroneck, right? Yeah.
I haven't made it all the way to the Marshlands Conservancy, but like one of my big plans is to make a trip, pull over there, have lunch, come back with the kids. But you can just explore. There's little islands you can go to.
So where would you dock your boat? Like, how do you get in?
So the village of Mamaroneck has a boat ramp. You can pay to launch your kayak there. If you that's what I did my first year here. It was doing that, often enough that I decided, hey, for the second year here, we're going to go and rent one of the spaces from them to keep the boat on a rack. So you can do that. There are some other places that you can do it from. I haven't, I've looked on the web and saw some places on a map that I think actually Dog Beach is a place that you can launch your kayak from, but I haven't done it from there. But I think that's a really nice, accessible way to be able to get onto the water at a way that, that it's just you in nature enjoying it on a nice day. And the thing is, it's a very easy thing to do. So you can do it for an hour. It's not like, it doesn't have to be a production.
Full commitment, exactly. Just be a couple hours. You mentioned Dog Beach. have you explored Dog Beach?
Yeah.
That's another really good one.
We have a dog. We got a dog. We moved to suburbia, bought a dog. He doesn't really like to swim. He'll go right up to, I don't know if I'll call it armpits. I don't know if it's the right word for that height of the dog. He goes in there. Dog Beach is great. And you can go there, especially if you have middle of a day one day and, you have to look at the tide. You have to go there when it's kind of low tide or close to low tide because at high tide there's very little beach. But it's just great. And sometimes there's just, one or two other people there with their dog. And it's really just a spectacular place.
And super local.
Super local.
Yeah, because they can be off leash as well at Dog Beach.
The sign says no, but the culture there seems to allow it.
Okay, good to know. Oops. And also, I don't know if you've taken your kayaks during either Memorial Day weekend or Labor Day weekend, but also if you head towards Rhineck, they have these parties on the water.
Oh, really?
And they have bands on the water.
Didn't know that.
And I didn't know it either, but it was Memorial Day weekend, and we stumbled upon it, and it was a party on the water. So I can't give you more details than that. Just know that it exists.
All right.
So thank you for being here, Dan. I so much appreciate
so much.
it. Thank you.
Visit lmcmedia.org/family guide to get more information and find other episodes. LMC Media is a nonprofit media center. Follow us on socials at LMC Media Center and subscribe to our YouTube channel at LMC Media Productions to see more content.